Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and I'm super excited. I know I'm late to the game here, but I finally got my hands on some of the Studio Series Bumblebee Transformers Deluxes, and the first one I wanted to look at was Ratchet. I've really enjoyed playing around with these so far. And yeah, here is, I don't know if this is my favorite. I'm pretty torn on them, but they're all really good. But here we have Studio Series Ratchet from the Bumblebee movie, as he was in the opening little prologue, that Cybertron scene. And a lot of people have drawn a lot of similarities in that scene to War for Cybertron. I'll say this toy has reminded me of the War for Cybertron line in a lot of the best ways. But yeah, turns into this weird alien little vehicle. I really like the way they did his chest piece turning into a cockpit that still has like this large canopy that you can see through, but still feels very alien. It rolls really, really smoothly. The only real complaint I have is it just feels a little on the small side. Here's my current Ratchet. It was actually another movie Ratchet. Here is I think this was Age of Extinction, or maybe it was the Japanese version, Transformers The Best line. Here they are next to each other. This is not a large deluxe either, but we can kind of see there how they compare in terms of size. And yeah, I'm a little torn about which one I like better on these. I'm not a big Transformers Bayverse fan, but this particular Ratchet design has just stuck with me over the years. It stood out to me. And I've ended up having a couple different non-Ratchets using the mold that we can compare them to. We've got First Aid from the Transformers Prime line. I just really like those colors. There we go there. And then last but not least, we've got our Voyager Ratchet standing all big. Not Ratchet, I like to call him McMurphy. We've got McMurphy over here and in Shattered Glass Ratchet colors. We've got Aid Station over here, and then here's my current Ratchet. And yeah, there we go. So it's the smallest deluxe size Ratchet we've gotten in a while. But the transformation on this is super nice. He rolls real well. I like the coloring. It's pretty simple. I think I would have preferred a little more red. I don't think we needed anything like a First Aid symbol or red cross or anything like that. But maybe this red swoop could have gone into some more red detailing along the side, just to add that red accent a little further along the side paneling of this vehicle. The other thing I might have liked, we've got the red here. I recognize it's not movie accurate, but maybe there could have been some red on top somewhere. Other than that, the robot mode I think hides pretty well. You can see the head down there. But other than that, it's pretty clean. He's got a gun that can rotate. It detaches. This is another future floor polish moment. It feels like I've been getting more and more figures where the 5mm port is a little too big, or more likely the 5mm peg is just a little on the small side. So it's not as tight of a connection. I'm curious as to what's happening with the tolerancing there. It feels like it's a pretty easy fix, especially because they've been using the same port size so often over the years. From a manufacturing perspective, you'd think they'd nail this dimension much more often than they seem to. But yeah, he looks pretty nice. Again, maybe a little more paint, but I recognize a lot of the paint went into this canopy piece. We can see this is all transparent blue plastic, and it got multiple paint apps. It needed the silver tampo of the Autobot symbol. It needs the white up top. It needs the red. It needs this gunmetal color here. So it definitely, a lot of the paint applications went into that single feature. But let's get on to the transformation, shall we? We're going to come in up top. The very first thing we do is just separate out. There are two tabs at the bottom here. We're going to separate them out. There we go. And we can lift up this whole canopy section away, get it out of the way for the rest of his body transformation. We can come in on the side, take this panel, get that out of the way, same with this panel, get that out of the way, and that lets us separate everything out. The arms are tabbed into the top of the feet, and then the feet unfold, the legs unfold nicely, like so. And here's the part that I think reminds me of the War for Cybertron line. It just has like nice, buttery smooth transformation that folds from a pretty small vehicle into a robot. This is maybe one of my minor complaints, there are tabs on these wheel wells that are really, really thin. Those, I think, could have had their height raised a little bit. and they catch on the sides here, but it's not like a super solid catch. The feet are already done. We're going to come in up top. We are going to, now that we've got the arms out of the way, we can lift them up, and then we're going to take the whole back piece and flip it around. And then here's another one of those like War for Cybertron style. Ooh, actually, I think our camera's a little too low. Let's lift it up. Like so. We're going to come in and we accordion, we don't accordion. We rotate around this body, this peg here, and we bring it up, and that's our waist. And then we can collapse in this whole section. It's like 1, 2, 3 hinges. This whole section comes down and collapses in, bringing everything down like so. Nice and neat. The chest piece comes back on top and it flips over his head like so. We can bring in our arm sections. They come in on the sides, and then we have tabs on each side of these panels that came out that they can lock in nicely. So we get this like nice, rotate the waist around, we get this nice locking transformation, and it kind of, the chest piece explodes outward on a bunch of hinges and then collapses back in a different way after rotating, and everything locks in nicely. He feels, his chest piece feels really solid. Again, another complaint, that's backwards. Come around this way. There we go. A complaint I have here is really about the legs and their looseness, but we'll get there in a second. The transformation itself is a joy. That is just fun. It reminds me of the panel flipping and repositioning of the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron lines. It really, this kind of, it's not similar to, but it reminds me of Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime a lot, and I really like that. We can give him his gun back, and yeah, here is Ratchet, and he looks pretty great. That Bumblebee design, I think, is unique and neat. Again, love the transparent chest piece here. I think I like the shoulders. They're nice and broad. It's pretty clean. And yeah, I think this just looks really, really great. We can get into articulation. First, I think I do want to zoom in on that head sculpt. That's a nice little head sculpt. Good balance, I think, of the Bayverse aesthetic with something that is like a sensible head and nicely painted. Again, we do have light piping here, which I really, really appreciate. A nice, very posable ball joint here. We've got a full 360 on the shoulder with a 90-degree outward movement, which I appreciate. We do have, it's a little hard to get to, but we do have bicep swivel, which is nice. We've got a nice 90-degree bend on the elbow. And then no forearm swivel, which is another complaint point, but that's a pretty minor one. The hand can go in and out. Due to transformation, we do have a waist joint, although it does feel a little loose. We've got universal joints in the hip that can go out all the way, but they do, if we shake them a little bit, yeah. There's not a ton, maybe when you hold it higher, I guess. Yeah, there's a sweet spot where it holds itself. But if you go lower, it goes right down, which is unfortunate. This does feel like it could be a floor polish improvement. I feel like I could go in there, taking out this screw, separating the two halves here, and then thickening up that joint. That might help. But yeah, things get out of the way to do a full Van Damme. Great high kick, great back kick, totally unimpeded by any backpack. Nice, deep, more than 90-degree knee bend, which I appreciate. Thigh swivel there, and he's got ankle joints. So I know I've been shaking him and rattling him. Aside from the looseness in the figure, which is disappointing, he does feel real good. And he's got a nice big gun. I think I would have preferred if he came with some other tool, but I recognize this must be what he came with from the movie. I haven't seen that scene in a minute. But yeah, I mean, this is just a nice looking Ratchet. And here is Ratchet next to some of the other versions of the character. I think first I want to show Studio Series versus the Transformers The Best Ratchet. And I think this is the thing that's really sold me on the new figure. I'll admit I was pretty hesitant about picking it up because this Ratchet, the Age of Extinction or whatever, Transformers The Best Ratchet, is one of the few Bayverse characters I have in my collection. And I think I've been holding on to that because I'm like, well, I don't want to like totally shit on Bayverse. I appreciate some of the things about that film franchise, even though I'm not a fan of it. I gotta hold on to something, so I held on to this because this is one of the closest things to a design I like, but I really don't like that head. I mean, looking at the two, this is just so nice and fun to transform. This thing's fiddly and the backpack falls off. I mean, look at the difference we're talking about here. And obviously this is several years of improved transformation technology, but the difference in their designs and things like that. Yeah, I only need one Ratchet in my collection, and I think that means that it's time for this guy to go bye-bye. Here he is next to the Prime mold, and here he is next to the Shattered Glass mold, which will soon be updated to that new Studio Series 86 mold or whatever it is, which I don't super care about, but here we can see our different Ratchets together. I think if I'm going to have a smaller Ratchet, this is the one I'm going to keep, and this is the one I'm going to be giving away. So today's video is a giveaway, but it's going to be a little different than the previous giveaway videos. I believe by the time this comes out, I am either on my way or in Italy for a 2.5-week period. So I will not be able to announce any giveaway winners. Every giveaway will have to wait until after October 1st. Then I will be going ahead and announcing the winner. And I'll do all the figures in one package to one winner. So starting with this giveaway, whatever else that I do while record now that comes out while I'm in Italy. And to that end, you can enter the giveaway multiple times. So the first part of the prize will be this Ratchet right here, Transformers the Best Ratchet, whatever he's called. And he's As You Come. I don't think he came with an accessory. I'll go digging around if he did. But the question here is which version of a character from a sub-franchise of Transformers that you weren't a big fan of do you like? So, for example, for me, it was Ratchet. Right now, it's the Bayverse Blackout. I like the Blackout toy. I like Blackout's design. I think that's really neat. So the Studio Series Blackout is my current figure from the Bayverse that I will probably keep for as long as I have a collection. I don't see myself replacing that, whereas I've replaced this Ratchet. So, if you enter in the comments below, you'll be entered to win this Ratchet, plus whatever else I'll be giving away over the next 2 weeks. We'll see what that ends up being, or maybe next 1 week, well, whatever it ends up being. But to enter the giveaway, just go down to the comments below and answer, list a character or a toy from a part of the Transformers franchise where you don't like the rest of the franchise, but you like that one example. It could be maybe you like Fire Convoy, but you're not a Car Robots fan. Or it could be maybe you like the Ironhide toy, but you're not a Unicron Trilogy fan, or you know, whatever it is. So list down below in the comments a Transformers toy or character or whatever that you like, even though you don't like the rest of the part of the franchise that's in. Good luck to everyone. Wish me luck. I'm hopefully having a blast in Italy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.